Hello, Brickman here. Now, there hasn't been any official news on LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga in a while now. As unfortunate as this may be, there has been tons of speculation in the meantime. Now, I'm fully confident that this game will cover every character and character variant we expect, and will have tons and tons of vehicles. But what I'm most interested in is the levels. This game will be remaking the entire Complete Saga, basically, and then freshly creating the sequel trilogy into the LEGO video game form. The Complete Saga had 6 levels per film, no free roam in between, and only the original 6 movies. The Skywalker Saga now will be covering all 9 main saga films, and will have 5 levels per film, plus free roam to get in between each level. So, I really want to know what variations and scenes from the movies they'll now include in this game. Keep in mind, Complete Saga certainly left out a lot of scenes, and at the same time dragged out other scenes more than they should have been. So let's speculate every level for every movie the Skywalker Saga just might include, cause this is fun, I swear. Starting with the Phantom Menace, I feel like the iconic negotiations level might be remade, though abridged. You can have a quick fight sequence in the beginning of the level to get into the MTT, but then they can easily shove the invasion of Naboo along with this. Now, once you go underwater with Jar Jar, hopefully the Gungan sub-scene that the Complete Saga skipped over will now be added to top the level off, where you must escape the bigger fish and whatnot. Now, your free roam on Naboo can take you to the Royal Palace, where the next level is rescuing Queen Amidala. Once you get her and get onto the ship, I hope they now include the scene of escaping Naboo. This can be a fun scene where you can play as R2 and try to repair the ship as the other astromech droids get blown away. Once this is done with, you free roam on Tatooine to find Anakin, and from there, the level may include some filler of building the pod racer or something, but this is essentially the pod racing level, and I'm really excited to see how they remake that level, because I want it to work like an actual race. Now, I have a feeling that the part afterwards, where Qui-Gon fights Darth Maul just before they leave Tatooine, might be briefly included in free roam or something, but I'd honestly prefer it be included at the end of the level instead, so it could be replayable at the very least. Now we're at level 4, where you can have the Theed Palace action, but in addition to that, they can include the Battle of Naboo over where Jar Jar is and all the other Gungans. This is the first level to the finale. Then the real finale can start with you playing as Anakin in the Naboo starfighter to take down the droid command thing. After that fun ship part, you finally battle in the Duel of Fates and defeat Darth Maul. So as you can see, Phantom Menace has several scenes that the Complete Saga skipped over that I'm hoping the Skywalker Saga will now make playable. Now for Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. This can begin with the Zam Wesell chase scene, except now it could begin as you playing as Anakin and Obi-Wan on land at the beginning, and will be a much more interactive level from jumping from ship to ship and properly portraying the scene. Then at the end, they can include chasing Zam on the streets until Jango kills her. This level certainly has room for improvement from what the Complete Saga did, is what I'm saying. Afterwards, you can free roam as Obi-Wan trying to find where Kamino is until the level starts and you're on Kamino. Then you could play through the whole chase with Jango and whatnot, and now I'm hoping they'll include a bonus ship part of the level where you chase Jango through the asteroid field. Next up, the player can free roam Anakin on Tatooine as he finds Watto. Then the next level is him on his speeder bike going to the Tusken Raider camp. I know this scene might be too dark for TT Games, but I still really want it to be included. After this, the player can take Anakin and Padme to Geonosis to go into the droid factory and recreate this whole scene until they get captured. You could maybe replace Anakin's mom scene because it's too dark with Obi-Wan on Geonosis first if you really want to. Next up, the Jedi Arena could certainly be a whole level on its own. First, you play to fight and escape the monsters, then the whole Jedi battle breaks out, you boss fight Jango, and then hop on the Republic gunship. Level after this is the gunship battle, and then you tag the Count Dooku boss battle onto this. That's broken into 2 parts, with first Obi-Wan and Anakin, and then Yoda. This will cover all of Attack of the Clones in 5 levels, including the scenes that the Complete Saga skipped. Now for Revenge of the Sith. Level 1 has the player go through the exciting battle over Coruscant, and then also include the rescuing of the Chancellor and Grievous's ship. This can include everything the movie covers in at least 2 to 3 parts. After some free roam on Coruscant or whatever, the next level takes place on Utapau, and you can fully cover Obi-Wan jumping into the fight with Grievous, riding his lizard thing, and then finally killing Grievous. I want to say that this is the biggest fault of the Complete Saga for skipping. The next level can include the arresting of Chancellor Palpatine. You can play as Mace Windu and all the Jedi in their epic boss battle until Anakin joins in, and then it's up to them on how to portray the execution of Order 66 6, you could play as Anakin and boss battle some younglings maybe, or you can go back to Kashyyyk and make Yoda's escape much more brief than the Complete Saga made it. Second to last, the next level can be Obi-Wan and Yoda's return to the Jedi Temple, but more exciting with them including the Yoda versus Palpatine fight along with Yoda's escape thanks to Bail Organa. Lots of new content here, come on. And finally, they can stretch the Anakin versus Obi-Wan duel on Mustafar as much as they want here. This hopefully outdoes the Complete Saga in its scale, and also before this duel breaks out, they could even include a bit of Anakin killing the... Okay, I'm saying too many scenes that are too dark for LEGO, just forget it. So that concludes the prequel trilogy. Starting off episode 4, we can have the Tantive 4 escape, first fighting with the rebel troopers, and then playing as Leia, C-3PO, and R2-D2 heading for the exit. Next, free roam can be C-3PO and R2 on Tatooine until the Jawas get to you. Then the level begins playing as Luke doing Luke things until you purchase 3PO and R2, and then play with him going into the Jundland Waste searching for R2, followed by Obi-Wan fighting off the Tusken Raiders. You know, an actual somewhat accurate interpretation of those scenes. Next, you free roam until you're at Mos Eisley, maybe include the cantina into the level, and then you have to go out and hide from the stormtroopers until you make an action-filled escape. I could see all of this being free roam for reasons, and honestly, this movie comes down to should the events on Tatooine or the Death Star be broken up into two different levels. So continuing from how I'm doing things, the whole Death Star rescue could be a level where you go and break out Leia and then battle to escape and fight Vader and yada yada. Now, if Yavin 4 is an explorable planet even, you can have some free roam there to look at the Death Star secret plans, and then you play the whole X-Wing finale part, broken up from getting around the Death Star, and then the events that take place in the trenches of the Death Star. So, that's all dandy. Now for episode 5. This can begin with Luke fighting the Wampa perhaps, and then participating in the Battle of Hoth using snow speeders and whatnot. This can also include the escape from Echo Base, maybe the Wampa part won't even be included. Next level covers the asteroid field. There could be multiple parts from flying around the Star Destroyers to fighting through the asteroids, and to the whole Exogorth experience. Level 3 can take place in Dagobah, where you take Luke to meet Yoda and then do Jedi training stuff and fight Dream Vader. Next, perhaps you could free roam to Cloud City during the calm before the storm, up to the carbon freezing chamber. Then, you could play as you fight to chase after Han until Luke gets involved. Then you play as Luke and his iconic duel with Darth Vader. Afterwards, you could cover the second half of the escape from Bespin, trying to get to the Falcon, and once you're in, you can have a quick fun TIE Fighter takedown and save Luke. So there, episode 5, simple. But wait, looks like the Jedi has returned. First level of episode 6, Jabba's Palace. First, play as Leia and Chewie to rescue Han Solo, and then bring in Luke and kill the Rancor. Next level takes you to the Pit of the Carcoon, or whatever, and then you play through the epic events of fighting on the desert skiffs and blowing up Jabba's sail barge. Once you're out of there, free roam with the Rebellion and get on to Endor. The next level can be the whole beginning of sneaking around, the speeder biker chase, and the introduction of the Ewok village, however they want to portray all of that. Then, the next level can cover the entire Battle of Endor, maybe throwing in the beginning of the attack on the Death Star, and at least split the Battle of Endor into the two different parts of it. Then the final level can be Luke versus Vader, followed up by Luke and Vader versus Palpatine, and then have the blowing up of the Death Star as the final playable part. So there's the entire Complete Saga, with each movie split into 5 different levels. You can see a general pattern of at least 2 with a maximum of 3 parts per level, which I'm mostly expecting the game to do, as most modern LEGO games would be like that. But ultimately, I am really looking forward to how it all does play out. Now, this video was to cover all the movies that we've already seen in a traditional LEGO game form. The sequel trilogy is all new territory. I've decided I'll make a separate video on that, especially because I want to wait to be able to include the Rise of Skywalker in it, so stay tuned for that. Also, stay tuned for other news updates on this game, hopefully soon, and in the meantime, feel free to check out my Complete Saga and Force Awakens walkthrough for some laughs in preparation for the game. Alright, so that all being said, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for lots more videos coming real soon. That was really quite the big breath. Bye!